Imagine, just for a second, walking into a casino. But look, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill everyday casino. The literal moment you walk through those doors, the lighting shifts perfectly to your exact preferences. The specific games you're gently encouraged to play, the promotional offers handed to you on a silver platter, even the precise timing of when those offers pop up. Everything has already been customized. And it's all based on thousands of tiny, invisible predictions about your personal behavior. The craziest part? You don't even notice it's happening. To you, it just feels normal, comfortable even. Now I want you to take that exact image, but replace the casino with your everyday bank. Replace the flashy slot machines with your standard savings accounts, and replace the casino's algorithms with highly advanced artificial intelligence. Suddenly, that picture becomes a whole lot less comforting, doesn't it? Today in this explainer, we are going to unpack the hidden reality of modern banking. We're looking at a reality where AI quietly, continuously predicts your every financial move just to generate massive profit.
So, let's kick things off with a pretty fundamental question. It's one you probably think you already know the answer to. What is a bank actually selling you? If you're like most people, your immediate answers are probably the obvious ones, right? You're thinking loans, credit cards, mortgages, maybe a basic checking account. And yes, absolutely. Historically speaking, banks make their money by lending your deposits out to borrowers. But today, in the era of artificial intelligence, that is literally only a fraction of the story. Modern banks are rapidly transforming. They are basically becoming tech companies that are just disguised as financial institutions. They aren't just selling you a safe vault to park your paycheck anymore. They are selling you convenience. And in exchange for that smooth, frictionless convenience, you are handing them the absolute most valuable asset in the modern economy: your behavioral data.
Think back to that casino analogy. The house edge in a casino is built by carefully personalizing the games to keep you playing. Well, in your bank, that exact same house edge is built by AI optimizing your savings products and your fees based entirely on your financial behavior. Literally, every single swipe of your debit card, every late-night login to check your balance, every automated streaming subscription payment, every single overdraft, it all creates a massive trail of data. Here's the kicker. Your bank actually doesn't need you to make terrible financial decisions to make money off of you. It doesn't need you to go bankrupt. It simply needs its AI to understand which specific decisions you are most likely to make. Once they can predict you, they optimize for you. This looks like the algorithm quietly hiding the highest yield savings options deep in the app's menus, simply because it knows you historically rarely bother to search for them. It's a real game changer.
Okay, let's dive right into this. To truly understand how this system thinks, so you can stop behaving like the average, highly predictable customer, here's our agenda for today. 1. The invisible casino. 2. Your behavioral fingerprint. 3. How predictability equals profit. 4. Outsmarting the algorithm. And 5. Adapt or be optimized. All right, part 1. The invisible casino. How banks actually observe your behavior. Think about the very last time you checked your checking account on your phone. You probably glanced at your balance, made sure you had enough for the weekend, and closed the app 30 seconds later. It felt incredibly simple. But behind that minimalist, user-friendly interface, modern banking is intensely analyzing exactly how you interact with your money. It's like watching an airport control tower. As a passenger, which is you, looking at your app, all you see are individual airplanes taking off and landing. That's your account balance and your recent transactions. But the control tower sees the whole shebang. They see weather patterns, fuel levels, runway traffic jams, mechanical alerts, and complex flight paths, hundreds of variables simultaneously. When you use your banking app, the bank is the control tower. They are actively observing the velocity of your money. Do you spend your entire paycheck immediately the day you get it? Are you frantically checking your balance multiple times a day out of anxiety, or just casually once a month out of confidence? How sensitive are you to a new fee? Do you instantly swipe away app notifications? Millions of these tiny data points reveal incredibly deep patterns about your life. And recognizing patterns? Well, that is exactly what artificial intelligence is built from the ground up to do.
Which brings us right into section 2, your behavioral fingerprint, the exact data you leave behind. So all of those patterns we just talked about, they eventually form a distinct, highly personalized profile. A single transaction doesn't mean much on its own. Just like hearing a single heartbeat doesn't really tell a doctor much about your overall health, but years and years of consistent or totally inconsistent financial transactions, that creates a highly accurate predictive model of exactly who you are. Let's break down a really granular example to make this concrete. See, we have 2 customers. First, we have Sarah. Sarah keeps exactly $5,000 in savings, she deposits money like clockwork every 2 weeks, and she literally never overdrafts. On the flip side, we have Michael. Michael's balance swings wildly. One week he has $4,000, the very next week he's running on empty, and he occasionally gets hit with overdraft fees. Now listen closely, because this is vital. The AI does not look at Sarah as a good person and Michael as a bad person. AI absolutely does not have morals or past judgments. It simply scores Sarah as representing stability and Michael as representing variability. It's just calculating probabilities. If Sarah has consistently saved a chunk of her payday for 3 straight years, the probability she'll continue doing exactly that is extremely high. The AI uses this mathematical probability to optimize precisely what banking products and offers Sarah and Michael will see the very next time they open their apps.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next point. Imagine, for a second, that you're storing your bicycle in a rented garage in your neighborhood. You think you're just paying a few bucks for physical storage space. Simple transaction, right? But the garage owner is quietly noticing exactly what time you arrive. They notice how often you take the bike out for a ride, exactly how many hours you're away, and even the specific routes you usually take when you leave the driveway. Eventually, that garage owner understands your personal cycling habits almost as well as you do. Guys, that is exactly what modern banking is doing. You think you are just storing your money in a safe vault, but the institution is deeply, constantly observing your behavior to map out your entire financial lifestyle.
So what do they do with that map? Let's get into Section 3, Predictability equals profit, turning your habits into revenue. You see, the bank doesn't actually need a crystal ball to know your exact personal future. They just know the golden rule of business. Whenever you reduce uncertainty, you can optimize your products and absolutely maximize your long-term profitability. Let's do some simple math to put this into perspective. Imagine you own a vending machine. One day, you quietly raise the price of every single candy bar and soda by exactly 1 single cent. Most people wouldn't even notice, let alone complain. But if you have 10 million customers and each of them is paying 1 extra cent every single day, you are suddenly making absolutely enormous profits out of thin air. AI works the exact same way with banking fees. It doesn't need to invent huge, outrageous fees that make you want to close your account in anger. Instead, the AI analyzes millions of accounts to predict exactly which customers will tolerate tiny, seemingly insignificant microcharges. We're talking a $5 monthly maintenance fee here, a $10 paper statement fee over there. Or, and this is wild, perhaps they notice you frequently transfer money between accounts on Thursdays, so they quietly delay clearing your deposit just long enough to trigger a perfectly timed $35 overdraft fee. Individually, to you, these are barely a blip on the radar, but collectively, they represent billions of dollars in revenue across the banking industry. And the AI knows exactly who to charge without triggering them to finally snap and close their account. This leads to a huge realization about how the AI uses your own desire for convenience against you. Let's talk about autopay. If you set up your mortgage, your utility bills, your gym membership, and your 5 different streaming subscriptions on autopay out of your primary checking account, it feels incredibly convenient for you. You set it and forget it. But to the bank's AI, this is a massive flashing green light. The AI spots all these automated connections and immediately realizes you suffer from something called inertia. Basically, changing banks right now would mean you have to manually go in and update dozens of payment connections across the internet, which is a massive, annoying headache. Because the AI knows you are now statistically highly unlikely to actually leave, the bank realizes it doesn't need to offer you the best promotional interest rates to keep you happy. Why pay you more when they know you won't leave anyway? Your convenience has literally become their hidden profit margin. To wrap your head around this scale, think of it exactly like a local meteorologist predicting the weather. A meteorologist doesn't predict the exact precise path of a single specific raindrop hitting your windshield. That's impossible. Instead, they predict statistical probabilities of rain across a massive geographic area. AI in banking works exactly the same way. It isn't reading your private thoughts or acting like Big Brother. It is identifying massive statistical tendencies across millions of customers to dramatically improve the bank's odds of making a profit off your everyday habits. It's just a numbers game, but they have the ultimate calculator. Real quick, before we move on to the really important part,
how you can actually fight back against these algorithms. If you are finding this explainer useful, please take a quick second to subscribe to Langford Invests. Every single week, we break down these hidden financial systems, the underlying economic trends, and the advancing technologies that quietly influence your money. And we do it all without the annoying hype or those fake get-rich-quick promises. If your goal is to make smarter, emotion-free financial decisions based on true understanding, you are 100% in the right place. So hit subscribe and let's get back to the explainer.
All right, Section 4, Outsmarting the Algorithm, Taking Back Control. Now that we've totally pulled back the curtain on how the AI observes and monetizes your daily habits, it is time to shift gears. Let's look at exactly how you can outmaneuver the AI, stop playing the bank's game, and take back total control of your financial fingerprint. So the crucial point is that there are 5 highly practical rules you need to follow to navigate this new digital landscape. First, you have to treat your savings as an active investment, not just a dead storage unit. Second, automate your transfers. Human motivation fades, we get tired, we forget, but automated systems rely on pure consistency, completely removing emotion from the equation. Third, you absolutely must question every single fee like a ruthless business investor. Remember, small leaks sink large ships. Fourth, constantly compare banks. Loyalty in modern banking should be earned every single day, not just assumed because you've been with them since college. And finally, protect your financial data just as fiercely as you would protect a stack of physical cash.
Let's dig a little deeper into that first point about savings, because it's massive. You have to notice the invisible fee of inflation. Imagine driving your car into a super expensive downtown parking garage and just leaving it parked there for 10 straight years. The compounding parking fees would completely eat you alive, right? Well, leaving your hard-earned cash in a traditional ultra-low interest checking or savings account is the exact same thing. Inflation is a silent, invisible fee that slowly but surely erodes your purchasing power over time. Nobody is going to send you a monthly bill for it in the mail, but make no mistake, you are losing wealth every day it sits there. You have to recognize your own inertia, that warm, fuzzy comfort of just leaving money exactly where it is because it's easy. And you need to actively reevaluate your cash placement so it earns a yield that actually outpaces inflation.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, Adapt or Be Optimized, the Future of Personal Finance.
We really need to zoom out for a second and look at how artificial intelligence is permanently, fundamentally shifting the entire landscape of personal finance. The banking industry used to move like a slow, rusty cargo ship. But today, powered by AI that is literally making millions of micro decisions every single second, that ship is accelerating at breakneck speed. Think of it like standing on one of those flat, moving walkways at the airport. If you just step on and stand perfectly still, yes, you are technically moving forward a little bit, but everyone who is actually actively walking on that belt, they are absolutely flying past you. Financial education and banking technology are working the exact same way right now. The economy just keeps moving. The AI keeps advancing and getting smarter. If you choose to remain financially passive, if you just accept the default checking accounts your bank gives you and ignore the incredible advancements in personal finance tools, you are falling behind. The danger isn't the technology itself. No, the real danger is remaining passive while the technology aggressively optimizes you for its own benefit.
The most successful savers and investors in this new era aren't just going to blindly chase interest rates. They are going to build their own automated financial systems, because the greatest financial advantage you have over the bank isn't having perfect information. It's your uniquely human ability to consistently make thoughtful, strategic, long-term decisions that the algorithm literally cannot force upon you. So I'll leave you with this. The next time you open your banking app, don't just ask yourself, how much money do I have today? Instead, look at that screen and ask yourself this truly powerful question. Is your money and your financial behavior working for you as efficiently as your bank's AI is working for them? Honestly, really pondering that single question could fundamentally change how you approach your personal finances forever. Thank you so much for diving deep into this explainer with me today, and we will definitely see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching. If this gave you a new way to think about your wealth, subscribe to Langford Invests. Leave a comment below with the one savings move you're making this year, and I'll see you in the next one.